All right, Ms. House. Great, folks are ready. I will call the St. Paul City Council to order. Roll call.
Naker,
Here.
Prince, Tolbert,
Here.
Yang, Ballinger,
Here.
Jalali,
Here.
Council President Brenmoen.
Here.
5 present, 2 absent, being Council Members Prince and Yang, who are both excused.
Please, we invite you to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consent agenda items 2 through 19 are before you for your consideration.
All right, we will take item 2 for separate consideration. Is there anything else on consent that we should take separately? All right. With that, Mr. Bellinger moves consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The consent agenda is adopted as amended. Item 2 is Resolution 22-1001, supplementing the general resolution relating to sewer revenue bonds and providing for the issuance of sewer revenue bonds, Series 2022B, and taking other required actions.
All right, we have I don't want to call it a staff report. We have an update on this item so that we can amend it properly to record sales rates and the good news of this morning. So welcome, Ms. Brown. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President Brenmoen, City Council members. My name is Sarah Brown. I am your new City Treasurer in the Office of Financial Services.
This is our glitter cannon.
Thank you. I'm here to present the results of today's sale. The Sewer Revenue Bond Series 2022B will finance our annual sewer improvement program, about $8 million of capital improvements. The good news is led by our credit rating. The sewer utility carries its own rating separate from the general obligation credit rating. S&P reaffirmed the sewer utility's AAA rating with a stable outlook. The rating is reflective of S&P's opinion of management's capital planning, combined with a demonstrated willingness to adjust rates and maintain consistently strong financial metrics. Today, we received 6 bids, with the Baker Group receiving the cover bid. The true interest cost was 3.343%. That's for a 20-year bond backed solely by revenues from the sewer utility. As you've likely been tracking the market, rates have risen this past year, but there was a small dip over the past month or so, and so we lucked out and were able to price in that dip. If you look on page 2 of your packet, you'll be able to actually see the rates over the last 5 years. I, of course, would like to thank our wonderful financing team, my supervisor, Director John McCarthy, the city's municipal advisor, Baker Tilley, the city's bond counsel, Ballard Spar, as well as all of the terrific staff in Public Works, including Director Sean Kershaw, Shannon Viraboina, Bruce Beasy, Bruce Elder, and Larry Miklovich. With that, I will stand for any additional questions that you might have. Otherwise, recommend approval to award the bonds.
Great. I wonder what it would be like to work for a city where we didn't have a good credit rating, and the reports that you bring in are so often positive. So it's wonderful to get the news and also to have it delivered by our new city treasurer. This is fun. Are there questions for Ms. Brown? Looks like there are no questions. Congratulations and thank you. And thanks for taking care of the gratitude in your remarks. We appreciate the hard work that it takes to get these done. And even though when you say sewer revenue bonds, it doesn't sound that exciting, this is exciting and good news, and we do appreciate it very much. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right, so we will move this item as amended with a motion from Ms. Naker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted as amended. Item 20 is final adoption of Ordinance 22-36, amending Chapter 409.01 of the Legislative Code to align with the requirements for caterers' permits with Minnesota State Statute 340A.404, Subdivision 12.
All right, and this is before us for final adoption. This is a ordinance that pertains to 14 event rental caterers centers in the city of St. Paul. We had a lot of testimony last week about a Ward 2 area, so I'm going to look to Ms. Naker to see if she'd like to add on this, but just a reminder that this is a citywide ordinance with citywide implications, and that's why that I'm listed as the author on this, as it impacts all. Ms. Naker.
Yeah, thanks, Council President. We did hear really thoughtful testimony last week and also by email. I think a lot of it did relate to one particular property, which I know I've tried to say is important to keep any concerns about a property or investigations of that property separate from an ordinance that is regulating the city as a whole. I think this is a really important ordinance that's going to make it possible for rental halls to continue to do business as they have been, and it's also going to further regulate the provision of alcohol in a way that hasn't been done before. So I actually think it's going to be a good thing for neighborhoods surrounding those properties as well. So I'm going to move approval.
All right, so there's a motion for approval on this item from Ms. Naker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The ordinance is adopted. Item 21 is ordinance 2238, granting the application of Fulford Family Partnership LP to rezone property at 533 and 567 Randolph Avenue from T2 traditional neighborhood to IT transitional industrial and amending Chapter 60 of the Legislative Code pertaining to the zoning map.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to testify to this item? Come on up. Welcome. Since you're the first person testifying, if you don't mind, this is instructions for everyone. If you come up, if you could give us your name, let us know where you live. Keep your testimony to 2 minutes or less. And when you're done, you can sign in at either one of the clipboards on the side. That's how we keep track of who spoke for the public record. Welcome.
Sounds good. Thanks. My name is Josh Heyman. I live in St. Paul, and I'm here just representing the Fulfords. So I was mostly asking if anybody has any questions. I am for granting of this motion, but I just wanted to know if anybody had any questions about, it's going to be my businesses moving into that space. So I'm here to answer them if anybody has any questions.
Great. So you're in support?
Yes.
All right, I'm looking to my colleagues. It does not look like we have questions, but it's nice to have, to know what's happening there and that you are in support.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Be sure to sign in. All right, anyone else on this item? Seeing none, Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the ordinance is laid over to August 24th for final adoption. Item 22, Resolution Public Hearing 22-219, approving the application of Tanya Adelman for a sound level variance in order to present amplified sound on September 10th at 700 Cherokee Heights Boulevard, Cherokee Regional Park.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 23 is Resolution Public Hearing 22-220, approving the application of Minnesota Recovery Connection for a sound level variance in order to present amplified sound on September 17th at 75 Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, State Capitol, Upper and Lower Malls.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Ms. Naker, there's a lot of parties in Ward 2. Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted.
Of legal parties. Thank you.
Item 24 is Resolution Public Hearing 22-224, approving the application of Compassionate Action for Animals for a sound level variance in order to present live amplified sound on September 18th at 200 Dr. Justice O.H. Boulevard, Harriet Island Regional Park.
This is the public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 25 is Resolution Public Hearing 22-225, approving the application of Church of Lumen Christi for a sound level variance in order to present amplified sound on September 10th at 1668 Montreal Avenue, Urban Academy Charter School parking lot.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Mr. Tolbert moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 26 is Resolution Public Hearing 22-226, amending the financing and spending plans in the Fire Department for $8,187.55 for the reimbursement from the Minnesota Firefighter Initiative for firefighters to attend the Mental Health Strategies Training on April 22nd and 23rd, 2022.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Mr. Ballinger moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 27 is Resolution Public Hearing 22-229, amending the financing and spending plans in the Fire Department in the amount of $2,740 for a contribution received from the Minnesota Board of Firefighter Training and Education to pay for training for firefighters.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 28 is Resolution Public Hearing 22-230, amending the financing and spending plans in the Fire Department in the amount of $24,837.64 for the Minnesota Task Force 1 reimbursement from the City of Edina.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Mr. Tolbert moves to close the public hearing and approve taking money from Edina. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 29 is Resolution Public Hearing 22-233, considering and adopting the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and recommendation of the administrative law judge, and request of the Department of Safety and Inspections to upwardly depart to revocation of the cigarette tobacco license held by Bright Star, Inc., doing business as Tom and Joe's Market for the premises located at 684 Western Avenue.
All right, and I'm looking to Ward 1. My understanding is that there's a request for a layover till September 14th.
Yes.
To accommodate the schedules of both the, both parties in the matter.
You should still call the public hearing.
Okay, so there will be a motion for that layover, but because we have noticed a public hearing, I'll call for a public hearing in case there's anyone here to speak to this item. All right, seeing none, Mr. Ballinger moves to close the public hearing and continue the public hearing and lay the matter over to September 14th.
Yes.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is continued to September 14th.
Ms. Naker moves suspension of the rules. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
Resolution Public Hearing 22-239, approving the issuance of a conduit multifamily housing revenue note by the Housing and Redevelopment Authority for a multifamily rental housing development project, reciting a proposal for a housing finance program related to such multifamily rental housing development, approving the related project and program pursuant to Minnesota Statutes Chapter 462C, authorizing the HRA to issue a conduit multifamily housing revenue note, and authorizing the preparation of necessary documents and materials in connection with said project and program, and approving an ARPA loan and related documents for 176 South Robert Street, the Soul Project.
Okay, Jules, that is too long of a title. That's just all there is to that one. So on this item, it is noticed as a public hearing through one channel, but was not on our council agenda. So what we'd like to do is I will call for the public hearing, but then we will continue it to next week to have the public hearing and staff report at that time. So this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item, this long titled item? All right, seeing none, we will continue the public hearing and lay the matter over to 1 week. Any discussion on that motion from Ms. Naker? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is continued to August 24th.
Ms. Jalali moves suspension of the rules. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
Resolution 22-1300, waiving the 45-day notice requirement to add a malt off sale small brewery 128-ounce license to existing licenses to Burning Brothers Brewing LLC for the premises located at 1750 Thomas Avenue.
This item, we had discussed changes in the state legislature and had made adjustments to our code to match. This is an application conforming to that will allow the brewery to sell canned beer and other provisions. Coming in under suspension, I think, in order to let them get to the business of selling cans before the end of summer. So thanks for taking this item in under suspension for Ward 4. This is a public hearing. Is there? No. This is to waive the 45-day notification period. Any discussion on a motion from Ms. Jalali? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted.
Ms. Naker moves suspension of the rules. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
Resolution 22-1301, waiving the 45-day notice requirement to add a malt off sale small brewery 128-ounce to existing licenses to Bad Weather Brewing LLC for the premises located at 414 7th Street West.
All right, there's a motion from Ms. Naker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted.
Before we go on, I'll just say that a reminder to departments, folks that are putting things in our Legisar system, we try very hard not to take items in under suspension because our agenda is our notice to the public and to the community. We realize accidents and mistakes, emergencies happen, and sometimes we need to bring things in under suspension. But just a reminder to staff who are trying to usher things through our system, if you're putting it in late, make sure that you're writing it until it is all the way through the system to make sure that it is publicly noticed so that people have an opportunity to be present to respond to items before the council.
Legislative hearing consent agenda items 30 through 63 are before you for your consideration.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mormond.
Good afternoon, Council President, council members. I am not aware of anyone here to testify on a legislative hearing item.
Okay, let's check. This is a public hearing on the legislative hearing consent agenda, items 30 through 63. If there's anyone here to speak to any items between 30 and 63, this is your public hearing. All right, seeing none, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
5 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearings are closed and the consent agenda is adopted as amended.
Believe it or not, we have reached the end of our print agenda. It's not a world record, but it's pretty quick. Before we adjourn, I would just offer if folks have news from the wards or announcements they'd like to share, this would be the time. Ms. Jalali.
Thank you. I would like to share the annual Central Honors Philando event is returning. It's this Sunday, August 21st. It's at the Central High School Dunning Lot, 1221 Marshall Avenue, and it's going on from 1 to 5 p.m. A couple years now has been virtual because of the pandemic, but it's in person this year, and just always a really meaningful celebration, very much lifting up Philando's history and legacy, and then reflections and commitments on how to keep addressing the issues and circumstances that led to his tragic death and why he is no longer with us. Always uplifting things for the whole family, food, games, face painting, all kinds of, I think there's live music every single time. So I always like to go and think everyone should just know about it. So look up Central Honors Philando happening on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you. Other news, Ms. Naker.
Thanks, Council President. This Thursday evening, 5 to 7 p.m. at Palace Rec Center is yet another Safe Summer Nights event. Always a great community opportunity to meet one another, meet departments within the city, get to know law enforcement, and enjoy some free food and a great rec center and playground. So I hope people can come out this Thursday.
Great. Other news. I would just, I mentioned last week that there was big event at Rice Larpenter and a big event at the Como Lakeside Pavilion. I just, like, we typically talk about what's in front of us, but I just have to say that the event at Rice Larpenter was a huge success, and it really is an event that serves the neighborhood, that it surrounds the 3 cities and the 2 county roads. And we celebrated things that are there and that are happening, and we celebrated some things that are no longer there. And it was a really wonderful celebration. Really big hat tip to the executive director, Kim O'Brien, who came and did a great report to this council about the work happening there. And it's a real feather in your cap, the event and the enthusiasm of the participants. Similarly, at the Como Lakeside Pavilion, the Lakeside Guitar Festival, rebranded Lakeside Guitar Festival, was a huge success with events happening in areas all around the pavilion. A late entrant to the lineup was Kebmo, who played guitar, walked out on stage, and I think was shocked that there was probably 1,000 people there to see him play. And then the band, the Last Waltz was a closing event, and you could hear, like, for 2.5 hours, you could hear the cheering and the music. And the thing that I noticed at both of the events was people were smiling, walking around with big smiles on their face, and reminded us how important it is for us to be around other people and celebrate our city. We've spent a lot of time talking about the things that are challenging and the things that are hard, and when we get together and celebrate, it really feels human, and those events were really human and touching. And then final note is today is the last meeting that our Right Track interns will be with us, and I was wondering if you guys could stand up, just give us a wave. This morning, the Right Track... Yeah. If you would you actually, can we get you to come up to the front? Oh, what?
This is a smaller group than this morning.
Yeah, and maybe just, I know that I will say, this morning, each of the interns gave a short presentation of their experiences here and the city council. But if you wouldn't mind, just do your, kind of your quick who you are, where you live, maybe your highlight, and we're so impressed and so proud of and for you, and just this experience has been wonderful for us, and I think that what we heard this morning is it's been positive for you as well. So if you wouldn't mind, just take a moment to step up to the microphone, introduce yourself, maybe share just a little bit, and then we'll release you back into the wild.
So much Pokemon Go.
I'm Freya Boats. I live in Ward 2, but I'm this summer's Ward 5 intern. I had a really good time here this summer, and I'm really grateful for you guys welcoming us here and, introducing us to everyone here. And I'm also really grateful for Jessica for organizing the intern program. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Council President, Council members. My name is Gonu Yang. I'm a Right Track summer intern for Ward 3, Councilmember Tolbert, and I live in the North End area in Ward 5. So I will also be a senior this fall at Washington Tech, and every experience here every day was just a personal highlight. But I would say the tours and the city documents, I enjoyed reading those for sure. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
My name is Paul Nguyen, and I'm the Right Track intern for the Ward 6 office and Councilmember Nelsie Yang. And even though she's not here today, I just really want to give a big thanks to her and Chris for being able to host an intern this summer. And I just really appreciate it because I've been able to have all these opportunities to just see how local government impacts people. And I just really loved it. And I also just want to say thank you to the executive assistant of Ward 6, which is Jenna, and I just really want to thank her for always supporting me in my research, and this opportunity has just been really great for me, and I've really enjoyed it here, so thank you.
Awesome.
My name is Upshir Ali. I'll be a junior at Highland this fall. I'm 16 years old. I live in Ward 2 on the west side. I'm the intern for Ward 2, Rebecca Naker's office, and I just want to thank her for hosting me this summer, and the EA, Kayla, and the LA, Tana, for serving me this opportunity.
Great. Thank you all so much. The future is so bright, and it's been wonderful to work with you all. Thank you. Thank you. This morning we were saying that they had done their presentations in front of the council and the deputy mayor, and now they've just testified in front of 5 TV cameras, and it'll be streaming live on cable right now, so brace yourself. Any other news from the wards or information that we need to share before we adjourn today? All right, seeing none, we're adjourned.
To you about carbon monoxide and carbon monoxide alarms. Carbon monoxide is a gas that's colorless, tasteless, odorless, and deadly. To protect yourself and your loved ones, you should have a carbon monoxide alarm on every level of your home and within 10 feet of each sleeping area. Remember to test the carbon monoxide alarms monthly and replace the battery yearly. Replace your alarm before you hear the end of life alert.